What up, peeps? It's your girl Suki back with another video. I decided to do a little flip through of my teacher planner. We just finished our second full week of school. We went back on September 5th, and then we had 2 days of teacher work days, and then the students started on September 7th.
Posting every day, making sure she's in every frame. Who you're trying to impress? Telling everyone, including my friends, that she's the one. Making sure I get the message.
So this planner is a tool planner that I got from Office Depot. These are not the original rings. The original rings were some small pink discs, but I knew that I was gonna make my girl chunky. You know, we like it chunky over here. So I put these, I can move that. I put these rings that I got from Amazon, and I like them. They're a pretty good size, and as you can see, my girl is thick. Okay, she's thick. But I really wanted to do some disc this year. I've tried all kind of teacher planners, everything from Erin Condren to Happy Planner, to making my own. I go back and forth each year. Like I'm non-committal when it comes to planners, okay? So this one, they had another color cover as well, but pink is life. Pink is life. So you open it up, it starts with a little decor. Happiness starts with you. I got this out of my teacher, what is it called? Teacher crate. I can't remember right now. Teacher crate. And then I just put some pictures of my lovies. This is a vellum that I got from Fancy Plans Co. It just says Miss Clark. And I like how it looks together. Like when I first open it, I like this look. I can see little Minnie Mouse peeking through. Okay, and then this. Savages live here. Savages. You just hear them on the steps. Always dropping something. This folder is from Happy Planner. It came in an extension pack, and I literally bought it because Brandy Janae told me about it. She showed it in one of her videos, and I loved this. So I found it and I bought it. In this folder, I just keep stickers. These are stickers that came with the extension pack. And I'm not like a huge Minnie Mouse fan, but I just thought it was so cute. I don't know what I would use this for in this book, but the Deco, sure. And then this is a sticker book from, I think, the Dollar Tree many years ago. So I put it in there in hopes that I will use it. I don't get that decorative in my teacher planner. It's very functional for me, but I do like stickers, so there will always be stickers. On this side, I have these stickers from Planner Kate. Y'all know I love me some Planner Kate. These are back when she used to stock Jen Plans font stickers in her shop. So I have this old sheet. This was a custom that I got to say today. Global is the course that I teach, or one course that I teach. Civics is another course that I teach. So these are all customs. I got objective for the day's objective. I put reflection because my goal this year in my teacher planner is to reflect on each lesson so I can, you know, do better next year. Seminar, this is our school's version of advisory. It's the same thing. Personal, and then these are some date dots I got from Erin Condren many years ago. And I have US history because if you remember my back to school teacher plan with me, when I was like showing you my lessons for the back to school week, I was initially teaching US history, and then it got switched pretty late to be global. So I'll just hold on to that because at some point, who knows, maybe I will be doing US. This is an inbox insert that I got from Fancy Plans Co. I just like having a spot when things come in through email to just jot it down so I don't forget. I'm not always on my computer. I don't live and die by my computer, so it's helpful to have things here. And I like that you can do, like, this is something I need to do now, later, if I'm waiting for something. Like, I couldn't learn the new grading platform until I attended the PD. So actually, it's something that I did, and I don't really want to check it out because I don't fully know it. But it's okay. Someday, or if it's a project, and then when I finish it. So like this weekend, I want to do a seating chart for my 6th period class. That's an ICT class. And I told my co-teacher that I would do that for him. Okay, it's double-sided. I have some extras. It came with, I think, 8 or so. So that's perfect. This is another reason why I like the disc, because I can add extra things that I want in my book that didn't come with the planner originally. So on this page is just the calendar that came with the book. So it started January 2023. Obviously I don't need that because school started in September. On the back of this Erin Condren compliment card, I just put the key of what each of these things mean. I don't know, it's been a habit for a few years to do this. I don't necessarily reference this though, so I'm not sure if it's something that is necessary. Well, it's not necessary, but whatever. I like how it looks, so it's fine. And I just stopped in June because that's when we end. Our last day is June 26th. I put the start of the spring semester here as well. This also came with the planner, just various holidays and special dates, which can be useful, I guess. I printed out the New York City DOE calendar and just stuck that in there. Yes, these dates are the same dates as this, but sometimes, like, it's nice to see it laid out this way, but then sometimes I want to be like, oh, what's all this pink stuff again? For January 23rd to 26th. Oh, that's Regents Administration. They're testing. Okay. So I put that. That's just the other side of it. This is my CAR tracker, my attendance tracker. They call it CAR for the DOE. Cumulative Absence Reserved, I believe is what it stands for. I started with 9 days, 3 hours, and 54 minutes. Our days do roll over to a max of, I think, 300, which I'm very far away from because I had a baby, borrowed days, etc., etc. So but you don't get 10 days like given to you at the start of the year, but each month you accumulate a day on the 16th. So I'm actually up to 10 days now, though. As you can see here, I left early on the 6th. My Sass and Laughs had high school orientation, so I took them to that. I arrived late on the 7th because Mayhem started school and I wanted to take her and to be there with her. And then this past full week, today is currently the 22nd. I was out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday because I had COVID. I took a test last Friday. And then today, the 22nd, Friday the 22nd, I felt good enough to return to work. So I did. But I took 4 days off. So this is my key. If I'm absent, it gets this pinky color. If I'm late, it's red. And if I leave early, it's green. And those are these stickers that I showed you earlier. So it's just a way to use up what I have. Then I have it all the way through June. This is our daily bell schedule. It has changed this year, so having it right here is important to me. I also have it hanging up on my desk. I have a bigger version hanging up in my classroom. It's just, I can't remember. And I have an alarm for literally every period. I set it 2 minutes before the period ends so that I can start wrapping up and having the kids pack up. And then our Wednesday schedule, they have shortened periods because the kids leave at 1:27, and then we do all kind of meetings and whatnot every Wednesday. So it's just nice to have that there. I also printed out my schedule. And this is why I like this, because I can just, again, add these things in. So my schedule is pretty simple, and it does not change day to day. The only thing that changes is what group I meet with for seminar. So I have 2 seminar kit groups. I have a Monday, Thursday group, a Tuesday, Friday group, and then we have Wednesday A-B days. So Mondays and Thursdays are A days, Tuesdays and Fridays are B days, and then Wednesday alternates. Our school does built-in CPT into our schedule, so that's really nice as well. A lot of schools, I know they don't do that, but you're just supposed to figure it out. But thankfully, I have 2 pretty great co-teachers, and stuff has been working out really nicely. This seating chart tab came with the book, and I've labeled them, or I added stickers to them. And so this weekend when I sit and I do the seating chart for my 6th period, one will go here. And the nice thing is I can just take these sticky notes and use them as I work out who's going to be where. And so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them for each of my main classes. I'm not going to do a seating chart for my seminars at all because it's really laid back and low key. Not worth it. This attendance tab says classroom attendance and a tardiness log. Honestly, I don't think I will use this at all. I left it here though because I didn't like the idea of having a gap in my tabs. So I have too many students. I teach high school, so I have entirely too many students to track who is out for various reasons. It's not worth it. Yearly overview. I thought about using this to like plan out month by month per course, but I don't know how it would work out. I would have to split it. So it's just sitting here for now while I figure it out. And also this is kind of that, but on a way deeper level. So this is just a calendar that I printed out from Joey Udovich. I ordered a teacher planner from her, digital. You can print out all the pages that you want. So I did that. I like that the Saturday and Sunday was still there, but just like squished to the side. And I just started to, it's kind of like a scope and sequence, but way lighter. Like I was just trying to plot out when I could teach certain things. And I know that this is just a really rudimentary version. I don't even think that's the right word, but as the school year goes on and we start to have events, I know that this is going to change, and I'm okay with that. But it's helpful to give me a good overview. So civics is a course that I've taught for 4 years now, so that's pretty laid out for me. So I have I know this is unit 1, and I'm trying to end unit 1 by mid-October so that I can move into the next unit, which will be like our election unit, so it will coincide with election day and things like that. And then I have left a couple of open spaces here and there in order to compensate for when we have like testing days. Like this week we had a bunch of testing days, so I didn't meet with all my classes. I was out this week, so this is a bad example, but with civics, I was able to actually give them, it was this week. So their baselines, they finished those last week and they submitted them. But I was out all of these days. They were able to do most of this stuff though. And then I end up looking at here for guidance. And then when I'm doing my lesson plans, it doesn't always flow this way. So as you can see, civics is really full, because like I said, I've been teaching it for 4 years. So I have a really good idea of how I want to pace things out. Okay. Now, spring semester starts the 30th. We switch from civics to economics. I did not do the economics one because I have time. Economics is a course I've also taught for 4 years. So I know what I'm going to do, but I'm changing. I've been changing the way I do notes and whatnot. So I have that all the way till June for economics, right? Then I repeat September for global. This is the new course. So it's not the way civics is. Civics is more like pre-planning. This, I think I'm gonna just fill it out as we're going, and then it will give me an idea for next year. Instead of having to go through all of my lesson plan pages, I could just refer back to this and see like, oh, we spent this long doing this long doing that. And I think I might do it that way instead. And actually I got this idea from Tul Teacher Plans, because she only has the one course, so it's easier for her, but it's the same idea. So like the way civics is, but I think she does hers after, and I might do that. So I have for global all the way through June, since that's a full year course. Okay, so on to the monthlies. Came with a notes page. I don't really have anything to write there yet, so I don't believe in like forcing myself. Planner starts in July, or started in July. All I did was add some washi on each month. My decorating on my teacher planner is very light compared to my other planners, because it's very functional, and nothing happened in July. I was on summer break, so we were also on summer break in August, but I did a bunch of PDs. I did all these Apple PDs, and I ended up becoming an Apple teacher. I got certified to be an Apple teacher, which it's not much that you could do with it, but I did it for myself, you know, and I got some hours in. I did this other PD, these other PDs. Google Bard, if you never heard of Google Bard, is Google's version of ChatGPT, of AI. I like both of them. Super helpful if you're ever struggling with coming up with test questions. That's my favorite thing to do. Ask ChatGPT, ask Google Bard. Helps you write lesson plans. Like, there's so many things that teachers can do. We had a PD before we started school on learning our new grading system, but honestly, it wasn't that helpful of a PD. So I took some notes during that PD. We're using sync grades this year, and these are just like the information that they gave us that I didn't find all that helpful. I'm still like bumbling my way through the system, so we'll see. I have done a couple of these things, so I can check them off. I did my case of reviews. I have not finished my consent form stuff. I did review all IEPs. I did email the consent forms. I just haven't finished getting all the permission. Mr. C, co-teaching contracts. So at my school, we fill out co-teaching contracts. Morgan, co-teaching contracts. These are my two co-teachers, Mr. C and Miss Morgan. I did email them because our 12th grade ICT was over the percentage cap. So if you teach special education, you know that in ICT courses, you're not supposed to have more than 40% of the students with IEPs. And at the beginning of the year, we were at 47. So they changed some things to fix that. So my goal for September is to plan ahead at least 1 week in all my classes. And I've kept up with that. And to collaborate with my co-teachers is very important to me, to work as a team. I don't like being in the class and feeling like I don't know what's going on. It really bothers me. So this page is looking a little plain. So I'm gonna just throw a little washi on there. And if you saw my last plan with me, if you saw my last haul, then you know this washi came from Planner Kate. So this is all I do. Throw a little washi on there. And it just makes it a little cute, you know? Nothing crazy. I don't really have space in here. It's a very functional planner. I keep saying that because it is. These are just some old stickers that I have from my last teacher planner. I used an EC softbound last year in In Bloom color scheme. So I have one for each month to match. So I'm using the leftovers in here. This is what my monthlies are looking like. This week, they told us everyone in the history department had to administer their baseline during this time period. So we did. Then all of this, we have iReady. This was middle school iReady. So our schools are 6 through 12. And then actually, we had high school iReadies on these 2 days. But then I confused myself. I thought everyone was testing on these days, so I didn't write it. But we had iReadies on these days for high school. I write in I look at the IEP calendar and I see when IEPs of students that I teach are coming up, and I just make a note of it, because 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna have to go in and write something in the plot. So even if the spec coordinator forgets to email me to include my information, I try to just be on top of it. We have no school this coming Monday, so we have a nice little 3-day weekend. So if you remember, I was out 4 days, came to work today, and now I have a 3-day weekend, which is wonderful. Here, this is a triennial that I actually have to attend. I thought we were having back to school night, but then my principal sent an email saying we're not. Sometimes I put paydays and things there. I might end up adding those in later, but I know when I get paid. I know I get paid on the 15th and the end of the month, every month. So that just repeats for every single month. As things come up, if I know, then I'll put it in. So like, I know that the data from our baselines are going to be due on the 18th. I did find out that I'm having an IPC meeting with my AP, one of my APs. IPC is our initial planning conference, so that's where we talk about our goals and stuff for the year. So I know that that's coming up, so I will add that sticker in at some point. Oh yeah, this ruler also came with the planner. I stuck it upside down because I like bottom tabs better than top tabs, but it doesn't bother me that numbers are upside down because I don't use it as a ruler. So love this washi. Don't remember where it came from. I just have a lot of things in my stash, but I'll flip through every month. Every month is the same, but I will show you like the washi I chose for every month. And then if there's a holiday, I try to mark something. My kids have the whole week off for Thanksgiving. That's their fall break. DOE, my kids are in charter school, so their schedule is different, but DOE, we only get Thursday, Friday, which sucks, to be honest. It's Black Friday. I mean, Cyber Monday. Duh, it's Monday. But this washi is so cute. I just tried to pick nice, cute, fun washi. This is my birthday. Pink is life, y'all. Pink is life. And yes, I'm one of those people that mark their birthdays in their calendar. These pencils mark testing. Days off, I just marked it with washi, as you can see. So we are on break. So I tried to mark off large chunks of time with washi tape. This is another cute little washi. We have another winter break. We have mid-winter recess in February. This is so cute too. This is like the Lucky Charms washi, or our Easter break starts in March this year, which is different. Well, actually, we're getting this Friday and this Monday off for Easter. And then our spring break is actually down here, which is unusual for us but I know it has to do with like Passover and Easter and everything being separate. We have no school because we get off for Eid. DOE has a lot of holidays. It's also why we get out so late. And then this is all testing. Again, regions, which is crazy because it says that they're testing all the way up until the 26th, which I don't understand because that's supposed to be the last day of school. So how are you gonna know if the kids graduate or not? But that's why I don't get paid the big bucks. So anyway, these tabs are from that same extension pack that Minnie Mouse folder came from. No, I'm totally lying. I bought 2 separate extension packs. So this is one. And what I did was just stick some sticky notes back here. These are from Erin Condren, these Star Wars ones. I love them. They're so cute. And these are just some big post-it ones just to take notes. Here were the first 2 days of school. They were Thursday, Friday, so I didn't want to waste a sheet of my lesson plan pages. I guess the lesson plan pages, let me show you, are not dated. So if I was in like an Erin Condren that was already dated, I would have just used the week that it fell on. But I didn't want to waste this whole thing for just 2 days, especially when it was like just back to school stuff. But this is when I was trying to figure out how I was going to use things. Top line, I like to put what's happening today, any reminders, anything related to special education. Then I'll do my civics class, or I'll do one of my classes. What's the objective, the agenda, reflection, and the reflections can be anything. Then I'll do the same thing for my next class, my seminar, and personal. Hold that thought. This is what the first full week was looking like. Remind myself we have history baselines. I marked it as week 1. It's the first full week, so I couldn't decide if I wanted to use pen or pencil, because last year I used only pencil, and I wanted to be able to erase things if I changed my mind. If I need to create slides, create my notes, if I have a meeting for 9/11. I was not planning to do a 9/11 lesson with my global class, but then we ended up doing one, so I put that instead, and I shifted that over. This is what I'm trying to do. Their ICANN statements for the objective, and then remember 9/11 through station work, evaluate cartoonist point of view, things like that. So I know when I write it that ICANN comes before it. The goal is to write the ICANN statement and then write the agenda, then reflect on the lesson. I didn't reflect on this because this is all like back to school stuff, so it's not that big of a deal. But as we get deeper into the lessons, I want to reflect on how stuff works. So if I need to adjust things, go slower, move faster, that kind of stuff. For seminar, I just do A and B days just to remind myself. I just want to have a section for my personal things, so just to remind myself, like, oh, I have to sign their syllabi, they need to bring their math contracts in. If there's birthdays, I wanted to do a paycheck budget. It was a game at my kid's school, we had payday, that kind of stuff. So that was last week. This was this week. I decided to switch to using these friction pens. Can you see? Friction Synergy clickers. They're erasable. 0.5. So I could just like go in and be like, oh, that's not what happened. Erase it. I'm not gonna fully erase it because I didn't bring the pen. Now, I planned all this out this week, and then I ended up getting COVID, so a lot of these things did not actually happen. So that's what, 6. The civics class, I was able to let them do a lot of the stuff since they're older and they can do a lot of things independently. So they did everything. They did this lesson. This one I'm pushing till next week. But with my global class, I had to change things completely. They could not do these things independently because I haven't shown them certain stuff yet. So I messed us up a little bit, so now we're a little bit behind, but that's okay. I was able to start the absolutism lesson with them today, which was nice. And then I planned for next week. This bookmark came with the these dividers, so I just labeled it this week with my label maker, but it says teachers change the world one child at a time. So this is what my plans look like the week before as I figure things out. So for global, determine if a leader is absolute, the agenda, then we'll reflect. Obviously this is not my whole lesson plan, but it gives me the meat and potatoes basically, and then I can go to my whole lesson plan and look for the rest. Most of my stuff is on slideshow, so it's just easier. And then I will see how we did with this lesson. Like, was the think pair share question good, or did I come up with another think pair share question when we were doing it? What about the mini lesson? Was the mini lesson long or short? Was it easy or difficult? Were the guided notes same thing? So what I've been trying to do with my mini lessons is, I'll show you an example of the guided notes we did today for absolutism. So I'm trying to have one of these for every lesson for both global and civics. They start with their do now. Their do now is almost always a think, pair, share. So they get whatever the question is, space to write their response, space to write their partner's response, and then did they share out. This is not necessarily like points, but just to keep track of whether they're sharing out or not. Then I'm trying to give them this like modified Cornell notes style. So putting the topics on this side, and then here, just a reminder that I teach self-contained classes, so I don't want them to spend hours and hours writing notes because it's just not something they can do right now. So I've been just leaving the spaces and letting them fill it in. Whatever the activity is, I'm trying to include it on here as well. So today they were doing image analysis. They had 3 cartoons. For each cartoon, they're answering 2 simple questions. What do you see in the cartoon? What does it mean? Cartoon 1, 2, and 3. And then I had these displayed on the board so they can see them better. Then at the end of each lesson, the goal is that they do whatever the lesson summary is for that day, citing evidence or examples from today's lesson. Now the questions, some of them are really short, like this one's short. They're just describing how absolute monarchs get their power. That's literally what we spent the whole lesson talking about and reflecting on in the image analysis. And so when they cited a specific example, I told them that they could quote from one of the pictures, like they could cite the image, or they could cite the notes. Either one would be fine. Then at the bottom is a reflection. Did they understand the concept taught today? Yes or no? So if they said yes, they should also be able to say, I'm ready for a quiz on this topic. Yes or no? Then rate the lesson. Was it the worst lesson they ever had? Best lesson they ever had? Somewhere in the middle. And I'm just adding this to the end of every one of their guided notes. Then they hole punch it and stick it in their binder. And instead of me like collecting this daily, I want them to have it in their notebooks. At the end of each unit, I'm grading lesson summaries for quiz grade. So that keeps them accountable and they don't feel like they're just doing busy work. So I have all of next week planned out for each class. We have no school on Monday, so I just put some washi tape here so I remember not to put anything. And this no school sticker came from that book, sticker book. I write the reminders up here, consent forms are due, so I need to get on that. I probably should write to have seating chart ready, but I didn't bring my pen, so it's fine. Right, got a payday coming up, and that's that. And then boom, blank page. I didn't write what week number this was. It should be 3. The only thing about these pens, so they come in a bunch of different colors. I put a 10-pack, but I don't know if you noticed, but like this is the black. It's not as dark, inky as say this one, which is this pen here, Sarasa Speedy. So that I don't like too much, but it's not gonna bother me enough to stop using it. So anyway, so a whole bunch of those lesson plan pages. I could always take some out to make it less chunky, I guess, but it doesn't bother me. So then this is another divider. I labeled it checklist with my divider, and it just has some blank checklists in case I need them. I actually might pick up some more because I'm debating about using it as an actual grade book until I finish learning that system. But we'll see. This is another divider. I labeled this one meeting notes. And oh, I forgot to mention, on each of these dividers I stuck a notes page. I attached it because the back actually had a calendar on it and I didn't need the calendar. So I just, when I want to be able to use these year to year, So it didn't make sense to have a calendar page. So in the meeting notes section, that's what I have. I have notes, meeting notes, inserts from Fancy Plans Co. And this is just an example that I took from September 13th. We had our sped department collaboration. We put the attendees, what objectives we covered, any notes, any action items. So these are all important dates that I needed to remember. On the back, you have a bunch of blank lines. So if I had more stuff that I needed to fill in, I could. And actually, I do have some things that I might take some notes on because they link some things. So as I'm reviewing them, I can take notes there. So I just put a few of those in. Like I said, we have meetings every single Wednesday, so I can easily fill those up, but I'm trying to be a little more selective about what I bother to take notes about. This tab is special education. For the love of learning. Or I just want to say something. Yeah, messy classrooms are where the fun stuff happens. And teachers keep it all together. So in here I have a folder in case I need to just like quickly fold something up and stick it in there, which actually I do have a couple of things that could go in there. So I have some meeting notices that I had just tucked into the bag because I forgot that I had this folder here. So this will be easy to find. Now the only thing is these folders are not the full length, so I can't put the full size page. I have to fold it, but that's fine. It's private anyway. This is something I got from the Musicians website, and it says instructional support services, instructional suggestions, and student learning profiles by disability type. And then inside of this packet they have receptive language processing disorders, executive functioning disorders, dyslexia, ADD and ADHD, pervasive developmental disorders, and emotional disabilities. And so it gives you like what the kids struggle with, how it looks, and then strategies that you can use. And I just think that it's cool information to have. Next we have, took one of those checklist pages and I wrote down the names of all my kids down the side here, which class it is. This is for my 10th grade, self-contained. And then I put some common accommodations: separate location, test ready, refocusing, extended time, directions clarified. So by this I meant like some of their IEPs say directions read and reread instead of saying test read. So just in case, if they get a scribe, do they have a one-to-one para? Do they need breaks? Do they have assistive technology? Do they get to use it on tests? Do they get OT or PT, speech or counseling? And I just track for each kid. So as you can see, every kid in my self-contained gets test read, and every kid gets extended time, and every kid except for one gets a separate location. So that's good stuff to know. A large majority of them have speech on their IEPs. Okay, and then I do that for every class. So this is my ICT 10th grade, my 12th grade, self-contained, and it's all the same stuff up there. And it's just this, I look through each one of their IEPs, and this is also like helpful for me to realize like if I missed anybody's stuff. But in order for me to get this information, I had to look through all of their IEPs. So since I had to do caseload reviews anyway and do those IEP cheat sheets, I just did them all at the same time. Here is student and parent contact information. I'm not sure if I'll use this either because again, I have a lot of students, but I left it there. It came with the book, so I just left it. Student health information. So I was thinking that I would write students who had allergies or any kind of health related issues, but I haven't done that yet. And I don't know that it is something I need in my book. classroom behavior tracker. All these all came with the planner, so I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to use it. So we have a PBIS system that we are going to be using, so I don't really need to track things on here. So that all might end up coming out. Here, progress report. So what I'll do is I will write down the name of all the kids on my caseload, and then I will check if the math teacher completed their progress report. Did their ELA teacher do theirs? Did their counselor? Did their speech provider? Etc., etc. And then did I download their progress reports and email them out? Is everything complete? Did I update the spreadsheet? That's what I will check on here. So I have that for October, because that's when we do our first round. January, I put January, February because I wasn't sure of the date. Yeah, it changes sometimes. And June. But then we had that SPED meeting and they gave us a date. So this is I was tracking, I put down all the kids on my caseload. So while I have like 50 kids with IEPs throughout my 4 classes, this is my specific caseload of the kids that I'm responsible for. So we had our caseload reviews, and I needed to identify their classification, their recommended settings, their testing accommodations, and then did I complete all of that. So I wrote down all the kids' names on my caseload. It's about 13 of them, and then I went through each thing and I did those. I'm going to do the same thing for the SPED consent forms. These just give us permission to email documents to parents instead of having to download everything and print it out and mail them, snail mail. So for this, it's did I contact the family? So I have contacted all of the families yet, except for this one because they had no email on file. Did they give consent? So I actually have to go back and look through there was a Google form that was linked, so I have to look at the responses for the Google form to see if they gave the permission. And then once I do that, I will update the spreadsheet, and when it's complete, I will check it off. The next tab, this one is from Happy Planner as well. It came from a wrong book that I have. I labeled it notes, and I just put in some of these daily pages from Fancy Plans Co. for those days when it's like super busy and I need to focus. What's my top 3 goals? What other things I need to get done for the day? Do I have a lot of meetings happening? That kind of stuff. I just like the simplicity. So I put a bunch of those in because those days pop up every now and then. These are the notes pages that I was taping to the back of the tabs. And so I just stuck a lot of those in. These are some dot grid that came in the journal that this tab came from. And these lined pages came with the planner. So whenever I need some blank pages, I can just open up to there. The last tab is this field trips tab. It came with the planner, and it's helpful and not helpful. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. We are trying to take more trips this year, so I can try to plan out like, oh, if we're going to do the immigration unit in civics in November, we can go maybe visit the UN or visit Ellis Island or something like that. But I haven't done it yet. Though I have been talking to my co-teacher about some trip ideas, so maybe. And then here is when you actually like finalize a trip that you want to do to help you plan it out. So I have a few of those. Hopefully I will take a couple of trips this year. So it's 1 on each side, so 4. This folder I got from Amazon. I like this one because you can fit a full 8.5 by 11 page inside. Unlike the other one where I had to fold it. Now I will say this is not the greatest angle, but see, it fits the whole thing. I have to fold it, and it's double-sided.
Mom, are you finished?
Almost. Let me tell you this last part. And then it came with some stickers. So I might actually pull these out and stick them with the other one so that I remember to use them. And then that's it for my teacher planner.
Finish?
Finish?
Yes.
Yeah. This cover does pick up a lot of crumbs though. I'll say that.
Come on.
Where are we going? All right. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.
Posting every day, making sure she's in every frame.